Stop looking at him. Stop looking at her. Stop looking at this guy over here. Stop looking at the moon. And stop wishing you were them and start wishing that you were yourself. Life does not allow you to experience things that you have not yet earned. Life does not allow you to have success unless you pay for it. And life does not accept a payment plan for success. In other words, your payment for success has to be upfront and in full, meaning that you have to put everything that you have into what you're currently doing in order to get where you want to get to. You only have a finite amount of time to actually do these things. It might seem like you can kind of take your time, but you really can't. If you look around you and you start to examine the people around you that are in your life or people that you look up to, people that you're maybe fans of, when you really look around and really examine it, people get to a pretty high level of success in a 3-year span, a 5-year span, a 10-year span. A lot of times, it's only several years after they developed a concept or after they developed an idea. Now, that idea or concept may have taken a lifetime to get to, which was the case with me. I didn't put up any points on the scoreboard until I was about 30 years old, and now I'm 41. So it took me a long time to come up with the invention of the slingshot. I had the idea earlier, it took a long time to even act on it, and then it took a long time to fully realize the capabilities of what it could do. It took me a long time to develop as a person. Personal development just means, all this actually means is that you have taken on the moral responsibility to become what I like to call a learning machine. Become the ultimate learning machine. Become the ultimate student. You know nothing about nothing. You do not have the answers. When somebody asks you a question, say, I don't actually know. Because you want to know why? A lot of times, you don't actually know. You're not actually a material expert. Still fucking hurts. Still hurts. I remember my guidance counselor in school. She told me that, I told her I wanted to be a professional athlete or I wanted to be famous. And she told me I should think about something else. I should try to learn a trade. And you know what I told her? I told her nothing. Because at that time in my life, 13, 14 years old, I felt stupid. I felt dumb. And when she brought up the fact that I should learn a trade, I actually thought that she was right. You know what? I should probably learn some construction, or I should learn how to work on cars. Because she's right, I'm not that smart. I probably don't have what it takes. I allowed that to creep into my mind, but that was because I was a scared little kid and I didn't know any better. I'm not that same scared little kid anymore. I'm not the same person I used to be. I built myself up over time by embracing my fears and by following through with my dreams over and over and over again, despite what other people have said about me. I would have been devastated by the math teacher pointing out the fact in front of the entire class that it took me 4 hours every single night it took me 4 hours. It still hurts. Still fucking hurts. It still hurts. It took me 4 hours to finish homework that was taking other kids probably about 20 or 30 minutes because I just didn't know what was going on. It was so bad at one point my dad was helping me, and he was like, Mark, we just went over this. And I was like, Dad, I know, I'm sorry, I don't really understand it. My dad broke down and cried. And he didn't think there was any hope for me. Look, man, I'm only able to speak from it not because I'm a God and not because I'm somebody that's got some unique set of circumstances going on. I'm able to talk about it and communicate about it because I lived through it. And I always tried to be a hard worker because I knew that on the other side of pain was promise. And I knew that if I could just push through and if I could pay the price, because when you pay that price and when you put that money in, that money is going to come spitting back out at some other time. Your payment must be paid up front and full when you want success. And so you have to try to pour everything you can into each and every opportunity. Replace the word work with opportunity. That's what you should be striving for, is trying to find more opportunities. Stop thinking of your job as being just work and think about it as an opportunity that can be created for you each and every day. And you can go to your boss and you can talk to him and you can say, how can I help you further today? How can I help this business move along further? And if he doesn't get it, move on to another job, because people don't need bosses, they need mentors. People need coaches. But as I kept moving forward, I tried more and more dangerous things that scared the shit out of me. Now, things that are not dangerous, they're not gonna really scare you. Things that don't have any sort of jeopardy involved, things that just aren't difficult probably aren't gonna scare you. These things have to be hard, they have to be tough. They have to be things that would harden a person, that would strengthen a person. So you're gonna need to have resistance, and you're gonna need to have perseverance through these things. You need to become a learning machine. You need to have a white belt mentality, and you need to understand the principle of you don't know anything and you have a lot to learn. You know what else you got a lot to do? You got a lot to prove. Think about that every single time you're up against it. I want you to think about my voice in your ear every single time that you're up against it. Every single time that you have self-doubt. Every single time that you are not sure of yourself. Anytime you've ever been called scrawny, every time you've been called fat, every time you've been called stupid, I want you to think of me while you're working hard, and I want you to think of this. Keep pushing forward. No matter what, one step in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. Gradum ferociter, step by step, ferociously, consistently, constantly, persistently. That which dazzles mortal eyes is often just perseverance in disguise. Perseverance, consistency, being constantly consistent and never missing out on these great opportunities that the world has for each and every one of us. They're all there. It's all there for all of us. Stop looking at him. Stop looking at her. Stop looking at this guy over here. Stop looking at the moon. And stop wishing you were them and start wishing that you were yourself. Start wishing that you have a greater skill set. Stop wishing for things to be easier, and pray that you can become tougher so that you can develop a stronger skill set. The things that do not scare you are not going to be things that are going to challenge you. They're not going to be things that change you. And so you cannot live your life 100% safe all the time. Life does not work that way. If you want to just kind of lay low and be under the radar and kind of walk around with your head down and be a mopey son of a, you can do that. But if you want to be a multi-millionaire, if you want to be successful and be able to take your family out any night of the week and go wherever the hell you want, if you want to be able to travel, if you want to be able to enjoy these things, I'm not saying that being rich is everything. But it sure is nice, I can tell you that. And that's why I sit here and preach and talk about it, because I think other people can do it too. Do I think everyone's cut out for it? No. Go get yourself stronger. Understand that you have the ability to learn and do anything that you want. You hear it all the time. Anything you put your mind to, you can learn. You really can. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Please make sure you share this video.